And good morning, Boquete. Good morning, Cherokee. Good morning to our engineer here, Bolivar, and Veronica down in David. Thank you all for everything that you do, keeping us flying on the air here. You're listening to Boquete Now, talk radio on Radio Cherokee 103.3 on the FM dial. We're sponsored by Big Daddy's Grill and the ACCB. And speaking of the ACCB, we have Linda Hart and Mona Lisa and Portlands here on the show. And I just always know you as Mona Lisa, and I just realized when I was trying to tag you in my promo, it's like, oh, that's your last name. See, after 2 years, kind of figured it out. I should have known that way back in euchre days, but I didn't. Anyway, we have a really great show for you today. As you know, the ACCB is one of the premier charities here in Boquete, and I'm really happy that they're sponsoring the show. And if you're listening, we're recording the show on video like we do, and I'm going to post a video on probably Sunday. And it's funny because we have a lot of things here. We have a lot of things on the table here, and I know and I appreciate you all listening. I really do. You guys are wonderful, and if it weren't for you, I wouldn't be here. But you really got to watch the video when it comes out because there's just so much stuff here. There's candy and food and hats and just everything, ducks, and it's amazing. So look for it. I'll post the link everywhere, and of course I'll send it to you guys so you can share it here and there. We have a lot to cover today. I almost wish we had 2 hours, but we don't. So we're going to get right into it. We're going to start with Linda because we want to talk about bingo and trivia, which we know is over at La Posada every other Tuesday? Every other Tuesday.
They rotate, yes.
They rotate, and I haven't had a chance to get down yet because my schedule is crazy. But everybody loves bingo.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Everybody loves trivia. So give us a little rundown on what's going on over there.
Okay. Well, thank you, Al, for having us. This
My
is
pleasure,
really great.
Yeah.
We're very excited about this. We have so much to talk about. But anyway.
And if I seem I'm not focused, it's because I keep staring at the M&Ms.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the apple pie.
Well, yeah, of course the apple pie, but it's candy. Yeah, squirrel. Anyway, go ahead.
You can't take Mona anywhere without proof.
I
okay?
know.
Anyway, I just wanted to give an update on bingo and trivia. We're still at La Posada on Tuesdays. We have been increasing our numbers.
Yeah.
It's very obvious people are ready to get out and socialize and be friendly, and anyway, it's just great. So this coming Tuesday is bingo.
Bingo.
We have normally started opening up at 5 o'clock and starting the game at 6.
Mm-hmm.
I've had many people say, they're older, they got used to not being out after dark.
I know.
Can we start earlier?
You feel like you're doing something wrong if you're out and the sun's down.
I know.
Where are the cops?
So we took a poll at trivia last week, and like 3/4 the people raised their hand. They want to start at 5 o'clock instead of 6.
Okay.
So that gives us plenty of time for people to get home before dark or pretty close to it anyway. Bingo definitely only goes till like an hour.
Right.
So we were talking about this. Bill Hurley and I were talking about it and said, how about this? And he called me one day, it was Sunday, and he said, hey, look, it's 6:15, bingo's over and it's still daylight. I said, we're in. So we just need to ask the people at bingo this week to see what their feeling is about it. So I think, and we've okayed it with, with Nestor, the owner of La Posada, so everything is fine, and I'm sure that we will do that, and
Once
we'll
again,
get
it's a
more
really
people.
good idea, because it's true, and it's not just the fact that it's later in the day, but people, if your dinner time is around 7 o'clock, 7:30, because some people eat late.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people don't see well at night.
Yeah.
I know I don't see well at night.
Yeah.
So that's really a good idea.
Yeah.
So would it start at at 4 and then bingo at 5?
The doors open at 4.
So everything
and
is just pushed back an hour.
That's correct.
Yeah, okay, that's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
cool idea.
So,
yeah.
So I'm hoping that they'll go for it, and I'm sure. And I've had quite a few people say, for sure we'll come, And I said, okay, we move it. I'm holding your feet to the fire.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah,
going
you
to
gotta
be
go.
there.
We'll come out and get you.
Yeah, I know where you live.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll send Carmencita after you with them cages.
I'll get a bus and I'll drive it around, pick you up. How's that?
Oh my
Anyway,
gosh.
so
And La Posada is a really good venue.
It is.
Their food is great, and they've got excellent, probably the best parking for a restaurant anywhere in town here.
Yeah,
Outside
yeah.
of Mesa Azul.
Yeah, yeah.
And tap out. Yeah.
and tap out, yeah. So anyway, so we're real excited about that, and that's basically it. What I wanted
that.
to talk about,
Cool,
make that
good.
announcement,
And I'll put
we'll-
that information when I do the post a video. I'll put all that in there.
We'll
that
let people
starts.
know what the outcome is on Tuesday, but I'm sure it's gonna.
Well,
it's gonna
like
work.
you said, everyone is really enjoying being able to get out,
Yeah.
and see people, and of course, La Posada observes all the Mensa regulations
Yeah.
and all that, so you
Yeah.
don't have to worry about
Yeah.
getting in trouble. Yeah, because you
And-
don't want to get in trouble.
and
Mona
they're-
will come after you.
They're relaxing a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, he was absolutely paranoid, and it's his livelihood, it's his business.
Yeah.
So he was a little paranoid, but he's kind of relaxing a little bit, and I think Mensa is kind of relaxing a little bit. So,
Yeah.
we're fine.
Yeah, it'd be all right, right? It'd be all right.
Yeah.
I know you wanted to mention a couple of things about the knitters and quilters and things that Rabbi Yaakov is doing in town. So I don't know who's gonna take that on.
You
want to start?
Yeah, I'll
Okay,
start with
all right.
Rabbi. I wanna put a plug in for the Rabbi and
Mm-hmm.
everything that he and his family does for us and
Yeah.
Mort's Bakery. I can't say enough about them. I don't know. I'm just very touched, and I'm becoming good friends with his wife Hannah. She's working with us, and she's got things going. She's got her mind going, this tiny little thing, but boy, she's just a bundle of energy, And should I talk about the clothes, the donations?
Yeah,
Okay.
whatever. Yeah, go.
Well, first of all, as everybody knows, at Christmas time, Rabbi helped out ACCB with baking over 600 cookies, for us to take up to the Comarca. The kids absolutely loved it. It was overwhelming, and of course we had a lot of donations, from the community. And we got like 750 kids that we take care of up there.
Yeah. I know
we only go
it's
in
amazing.
a small area. Then at Easter time, they hard-boiled. Was it 750 eggs for us, which would have taken us like 3 days to do in our house. But they have these big pots that they boil the bagels in.
Yeah.
So, that was another suggestion that Rabbi would, but
Yeah,
we
and-
couldn't
and-
call them Easter eggs.
and
you know,
Mark,
just hard-boiled eggs.
It's okay. Hey, you know what?
Whatever.
Yeah, Mark Rosen, who comes on the show a lot, had explained in detail about how we did that, and I thought that was just the kindest,
Fantastic.
the
Yes.
kindest thing, that you can do. It's a lot of eggs.
That's a lot of eggs.
It's a lot of eggs.
Well, it took them, I think, what did he say, maybe 3 to 4 hours?
Yeah,
for them to do
but
that.
hours, 3 to 4 hours. It
Hours.
would have taken
Oh,
days.
days,
So
you know.
and allowing his facility to be used. I mean, it's just amazing.
Yeah.
He's a really great guy. He's a really great
So
guy.
now with this and it getting into the cooler weather, Hannah has been in contact with the synagogue in Panama City, and that synagogue in Panama City had retailers donating designer expensive clothes that they tried to sell and they couldn't.
Oh, okay.
So we just picked up 6 big boxes of clothes from, from the shipping. And so Hannah was all behind that and got that going. So we're not sure what we're going to do with it. I don't know if we want to spill any beans or what, but we're really excited. But can I show that?
Yeah.
Can I?
Yeah. Well, yeah, and beans are fine to spill if you don't want to do them today. 4 weeks down the road, or maybe 2 weeks if we can arrange
I
that.
don't know if you can see this.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
This,
Yeah.
this
And I know you
is-
guys listening on the radio now. You have to watch the video.
Yes, absolutely.
You have to watch
or
that. That
you
is
will
cool.
miss this. There's a whole box of these for the little kids for us to take up the Comarca.
And those are
It's just like
wow, yeah, that's
vest.
like a cold weather
Isn't this?
cold
It's
weather
cold
gear.
up there.
Oh, I know.
It's
It gets
cold.
into the 40s sometimes in
You
there.
know,
Yeah.
I mean, and like I said, there's a whole box of it. There's
Wow.
other stuff in that. So, what we're kind of thinking about maybe doing is a fashion show
oh yeah.
with the clothes that we have, because a lot of the clothes that's in there,
Higher.
High quality. Yeah.
they're very high
yeah.
quality, but they're not going to wear them up in the Comarca.
Yeah.
So we'll take out the warm stuff and we'll have a fashion show, and
Yeah.
we're working on that.
Yeah, I'm
And
sure.
then
I'm
the
sure
upper-
whatever you guys figure out is going
And
to
of
be.
course, we still have the knitters and.
And
Yes,
yeah,
the
well,
knitters and the quilters.
Yeah, and I'll let you talk about them.
Yes.
Well, the knitters and quilters also donate a lot of blankets and little sweaters, and
Sure.
it is just so amazing to see these kids.
Oh,
with these
they're
clothes.
awesome. I've had knitters and quilters on the show several times, and it never ceases to amaze me
I know.
about the level of commitment they have to
Yeah.
those families up there.
And those kids, they just so appreciate, like they just won the lottery.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's a good feeling, though. You know you're doing something good. You know, you're protecting, the health and welfare of people who. Yeah, it's great. It's great. Yeah, that's very cool.
Yeah.
And when you have more information on the fashion show or whatever you're planning, you need to let us know.
Oh, we
and
will,
We'll
we will.
do a show on that. Yeah.
We will.
Maybe I can convince Roger to do a remote show at the
Oh, wouldn't
fashion
that
show.
be cool?
I'll have to
Yeah.
ask him about. I know the van isn't here anymore, so I don't know how y'all do that, but I don't know. We'll figure it out, maybe. We'll figure it out. Yeah, carry the transmitter on my back. You hold the antenna. Oh,
We
my
thought maybe
gosh.
you'd be one of the models.
Oh, you don't want that. Nobody wants to see that. Gosh, man. Maybe if you wanted a Gallagher impression, maybe, I don't know. All right, cool. So we'll do more information coming to that, and thank you for giving Rabbi a plug. I had a conversation with him on the phone last week, and he's just such a kind man.
Yeah,
He really is, and he's got stuff that he's planning for the community, which I can't really
It's
talk
awesome.
about
I
right
know.
now. But down the road, maybe we'll have him on the show. Maybe we can just do a party show.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, we'll do that. So, as we know, one of the many cool things that the ACCB does is duck races, and the first one was a hit. It really was, in spite of uncooperative weather. I saw the videos and the pictures, and it just looked like everyone had a really
That's not
great
going to
time.
stop us.
Yeah, no. The weather.
No, we're ducks,
No.
man.
Yeah.
They need
Doesn't
water.
matter. Just think of them as like the postal service, earthquakes, volcanoes. It don't matter, So, which one of y'all want to talk about the duck races?
Oh, Mona's got it.
Mona,
Yeah.
Okay.
She's Mama Duck.
Mama Duck. And that's gonna stick now.
I know, I
That's
have
gonna
so many
stick.
different
Yeah, you
names.
need a license plate now. Yeah, everything. Mama Duck. So let's talk about that. That's gonna be when?
On Saturday, August the 14th, which I think is 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah. And it's going to be by our sponsor, Tap Out.
Yeah.
And that's where it's being held. It's going to start at 1 o'clock. And Tap Out is going to sponsor a lunch special, which is poutine and hamburger and a drink for $7.
$7. Now, for those of us who are not Canadian, what is what? Hello. It's very windy today, by the way. But don't worry.
Yeah, you
The
noticed?
studio is anchored to the concrete. We're not going to blow away. What is poutine? Poutine? Just
Poutine, yes.
poutine. What is it?
Well,
What-
it's a French-Canadian French fries prepared with gravy, and I know we can't get this here, but they'll use grated cheese, cheese curds.
Cheese curds.
Yeah, it just gets your arteries just going really well.
I bet it does. A few other things too.
But it really is delicious, and you'll have to try it. But if you're afraid, I'm sure he'll just give you French fries. And then the other thing we're looking at, I can't remember if we got it or not, is the live ducks.
We'll have them.
Okay.
We will have them.
We're trying to make this a big family affair.
Oh,
So
man,
bring
yeah.
your kids, bring your grandparents, and just come out and have fun. So we're gonna have some live ducks, and we're gonna have a little pool for them to watch the ducks.
Oh, nice.
I've got the M&Ms over there.
Yes, you know,
No, you can't open them.
I know. I figured that because if I was able to open them, you'd already have had them open. But there's peanut M&Ms and there's regular M&Ms and
caramel.
caramel
No
M&Ms.
peanuts, 'cause-
No peanut. That's right.
no.
Cause right. Yeah.
Milk chocolate and caramel.
So I wish you would have brought more than one though, because
Well, see, the one is for the exact count. So the children go to the table
Uh-huh.
and they put their name and they put the amount that's in that jar. And the one that gets closest to that gets to keep the jar. And it's a lot of fun, like
with the M&Ms in it.
with
I'm
the
assuming.
M&Ms
Okay.
in it.
'Cause that was a
And,
cruel joke.
I remember one child saying that there was 1,000,000 in there.
Well, it's
Okay.
close. That's close. Yeah.
And then this one here is for my friend Nairn, because she'll enjoy this. There's 3 Brazilian in there.
Three Brazilian. How much is a Brazilian? Oh my gosh.
And we also, and I'm going to go over by my friend
Yeah.
here.
Oh, here we go. We got more visual. This is why you got to watch these videos, guys.
We've got these beautiful hats for sale. $12 will be at the duck race, and they've even got a little feather.
Oh my god. That's hilarious. Those are cool hats, though.
They are.
We got our logo on here.
Yeah.
There is no entrance fee, so you
Just
come-
show up.
just
Yeah.
show up.
Yeah.
And
That's what this community really needs. You know, I mean, it's been such a long time.
Yes.
You know, going through the pandemic and the lockdowns and the curfews, and you know, to have just a family day.
yeah.
To get out and do all this fun stuff. And
Yes, and we plan on doing it. So now you can buy tickets in advance at the BCP Tuesday Market. It's $10 for a duck.
Mm-hmm.
And if you buy it in advance, you get to name your duck.
Mhm.
You get to pick the number on the duck, and you get to choose between pink, blue, and yellow if you buy the tickets in advance.
And you can buy more than one duck,
Oh,
right?
you can buy as many
20
ducks as you
of
buy.
them.
20
Just 20
of
of them. And how many ducks are there going to be?
There's going to be 20 per race.
20 per race.
So the first race, first place will be $50.
Uh-huh.
Second place will be a choice of mango chutney.
Uh-huh.
And then I realized, yes.
Oh, yeah. And I've had the
or-
mango chutney, ladies and gentlemen, and I have to tell you, it was fantastic. I really, you know, I never, there are so many foods that I haven't tried. And here I'm thinking, you know, I've traveled all over the world. I've eaten in 30 countries, and every time you show up, you give me something I've never had before.
You never had an apple pie.
No, I've had apple pie.
Yeah.
Now, I have to tell you, the apple pie crust that I got from you, I brought back to the house, and my wife, you know, she bakes, and she made an apple pie, and I was supposed to save some of it. It didn't quite work out that way. I ended up eating most of the pie myself, but if you've never had one of Mona's apple pies, well, I have to tell you, you are missing out on...
So they get to choose between, the second place winner gets to choose between the apple pie and the
Yeah.
chutney, and the third place will end up getting
Yeah.
what's left over.
And if you're watching the video, you can see all of us eating apple pie.
Thank you.
I feel like Graham Carr. I think I just dated myself, didn't I?
Yeah, who is that?
That was my favorite part of that show. At the end, it's called The Galloping Gourmet. It was a cooking show.
Oh, yes.
And, you know, my grandmother used to watch Julia Child, and my mom used to watch Graham Carr. And they had them back to back. So I'd sit there for 2 hours because I was a kid and, my grandmother. And at the end of the show, my mom and my grandmother were like leaning forward into the TV to look at his face when he tasted the food that he just made. It was like ecstasy. Wow, this was really good. And more coffee.
This is excellent.
So my wife says to me, "So you gonna have breakfast this morning?" I said, "No, Mona's on the show. Why would I?" There's no point to it.
So that's the pie, and then you have the chutney. So that's either second or third place winners.
Yeah. Now I have a question for you. The ducks are $10, right? If you wanted to, give more, say, "Hey, I'll give you $20 for a duck." I mean, it's not limited. People
Yes.
could, yeah.
Or you could give me 20 and I can put you in the first race and the second race.
Oh.
And if you give me 60, 60, you can put them in wherever you want.
Give you 200, you're guaranteed to win the race.
But the first place winner of the first race will go into the final race. And then the second race, we have 20 ducks again, $10 a duck, same prizes. And if we manage to sell enough ducks that we can have a third race, which I really hope we are, we've got some different things going for those prizes. $50 for the first place. Now, the winners of each one of those races will go into the final race. And the first place winner will win $100 of those ducks. And that's the most exciting one, Linda.
Yeah.
And I see here in these very well prepared notes, by the way, you guys, this is another reason why I love having you guys on the show. It's like I don't have to work, I can just eat. Duck hat, trophy, duck hat, you have those as second and third prizes.
For that, if we move on to the third
To the
race,
third race.
that's duck hat and trophy, yes, and duck hat for the third place.
And how much are the duck hats again? I'm trying to get you to talk so I can eat.
$12 a duck hat if you want to buy it, but you might end up, if you are in the third race, winning a duck hat. So, and then the other thing is only the volunteers of ACCB that are delivering the ducks to the bridge are allowed on the bridge.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can watch from the side.
Yep.
We're hoping to have what is that?
Drone?
A drone.
A drone, yeah. Working
We're
on that.
hoping to get that. And what we're doing with this money,
Yes, that's what we wanted to know. Where's all this cash going?
yes. Well, we're going to be making some delivery bags for the Camarca for the children.
Awesome.
And this time we're doing notebooks, pencils, some goodies, dog food, some clothing, and it is something that we're now, like we used to do it just at Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Then we decided, well, let's do it at Easter. And now we have decided with everything that's been going on,
Yeah.
because life isn't easy
No.
for anybody, but it's a little tougher for up there.
Yeah, it is.
And we just want to give those families a moment of joy.
Mm-hmm.
So we've decided we're going to do it quarterly.
Oh, wow.
So all this money goes towards getting something that we know is needed up there.
Yeah. And for those of you that are math challenged, that's every 3 months.
I want you guessing on those M&Ms.
I know, right? A Brazilian. So these kids, it says here, 1 to 15 years old, and it's baby clothes, blankets, hats, as you said, bags of dry dog food, hopefully some shoes. That's fantastic. I know that a lot of the kids, they'll get one pair of shoes. I think the government gives one pair of shoes at the beginning of the school year, and with 4 months later, they're trash because if you don't know, and I've been up there and I've seen this myself, what terrain these kids have to walk through to get to their school. It's not like a paved road. When your mom and grandma say, "I walked to school uphill both ways," kinda, right? So the shoes, they wear out, and I know that that's very important. You got to have good shoes, or at least something decent. That could lead to a lot of other health problems, and that's a whole other show right there. So hopefully, where would the shoes be? These are people you looking to donate shoes, or
Yeah,
you're going to get them?
people-
All right.
People can donate.
They can bring that day, the day
yes.
of the duck race, anything they have used.
We'll take it. We will take it.
Kids
We will
up
use
to
it.
15 years old, you know,
Mm-hmm.
usually come out. So
And
we'll
then we
take
have
anything.
a bag packing day, and we do about 750 bags.
Yep.
And
Yep.
that's where the notebooks, the pencils, and so that once we get up there, we actually give the child. that.
Yeah, and that's what you need volunteers for, right? You can
Yeah.
sign up at the duck race for that. You can have a booth, or is there going to be someone you have to search out? Maybe.
We could have a table there.
Yeah,
You know,
where they're buying the ducks. Or
Yeah, we're gonna also have 50-50 raffle
love
at,
50-50.
at the duck race. So at that table, you know, we can also have like a sign-up sheet. We don't know exactly what day we're gonna do the packing,
Yeah.
but we
we'll
can,
let you know.
Yeah.
you know, we have people sign up, give us their email address and or phone number, and we can let them know, or we'll post it all over the place.
So it's like an assembly line set up there. Where do you guys usually do that? Do you have a place that
We've
you?
done it at where I live at Boquete Country Club in the clubhouse.
Yeah.
You know, got the tables set up, and you know,
Yeah. That's a nice,
for
nice.
like
yeah, we've rented that out a couple of times.
yeah, it's
nice.
you know, it's about a couple hours we have it. You know, from 11 to 2, and it takes every bit of 11 to 2 to fill
yeah.
those bags.
Yeah.
You know,
And transporting them up there, I guess you probably could use some volunteers for that. People with SUVs or.
We usually.
yeah, it's some of that terrain is pretty difficult, and I don't know
Yeah.
that we want to, intimidate,
Mm-hmm.
you know, some of these families. But Esperanza has always given us their school bus
Mm.
And they're
Okay.
and their drivers and they know exactly where to go. And, you know, he just pulls up and he beeps the horn and the kids come running out and right to Mona because she's got the balloons.
Because
and
she's
the
Mona.
toys, you know?
I thought it was Mama Dog.
Mama Duck.
Oh, well,
Goes
you know,
right
many
to-
hats. Today's a duck hat.
right to Mama Duck. Anyway, it's just amazing. We got so many pictures. I mean, it's
Yeah.
you can't
No,
I
you-
can't even express
I know.
the feeling
I
and the
know.
joy.
Of those children, they're like that little girl with that dress. I'll never forget that ever.
Last time we were there, and I think they recognize us now when we come up. But I'm taking pictures of Mona because she's doing games with the kids.
Mhm.
And this little boy, he was no taller than my knee,
Mm-hmm.
comes dragging his bag because he couldn't even carry his bag. And he walked up to me and he hugged my leg.
Oh.
I lost it.
Yeah. Waterworks.
Like-
Hello.
I'm
Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
sweet. That
Yeah.
really is sweet.
Yeah.
Some of those kids, you know, we've been up there with our little charity for that one school. Which, by the way, ACCB, you guys have been so generous to us. And if you don't know, you know, the ACCB doesn't just do for their charity. You guys. Well, I can't even say you guys because I've been a member now for like 6 months. So we. And I didn't wear my shirt because this is my official Radio Cherokee shirt, which I could use another one. This is like 2 years old, but for, Christmas, bringing all the Christmas presents up there that we got for them through our donations and through the generosity of ACCB. Just it's such an emotional moment,
It is.
You try to keep your composure. And I look around and I see, some of the guys, who I guess like to fancy themselves as, manly, macho men. They're all just wiping little tears away. And so, man, don't be ashamed, man. It's a beautiful thing, to see.
Absolutely.
And you know that you're helping, not just helping, these families, but you're bringing a little joy and happiness, to these kids. And it's a wonderful thing to be a part of. And it really is. It makes you feel good.
Yeah.
To know that this community, which in all the places that I lived, all over, is probably one of the most generous
It is.
communities that my wife and I have ever lived in. And whenever a need comes up, they're there. Everyone just steps up.
I know.
And it's
I know.
amazing. You used to have to. It's like, some of the places I've lived in. My wife and I have been involved in charities all over the place, and it's like pulling teeth sometimes. But here, it's like we need this. Everybody shows
I
up.
know. I know.
And really, that's the benefit. The benefit isn't just for the people you're giving it to. You get a benefit.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
like everybody gets blessed.
Absolutely.
Everybody, and it really is. It makes me feel very good to be a part of the ACCB. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We're happy to have you.
Yes.
Sometimes it's like overcrowded at, when we do the assembly thing and everybody wants to do something. We try to give little tasks to everybody, and just the fact that they show up and, their heart is in the right place, and it just, I don't know, you're right, it's overwhelming.
Well,
you
look,
know.
look at your adopted granddaughter. When she went up to the Camarca with us, and I was given from a friend of mine a bunch of clothes from the stores in
yeah.
Canada. She brought suitcases down, and I asked her if I could. Her granddaughter and her cousin,
It was her cousin.
joined us on this trip, and those young girls, were so amazing. The way they would pull out these clothing, look at the child and put it up to them, and the child would be like,
What?
"For what?" Oh, yeah, and they loved it. These
Yeah.
young girls loved doing it. So we never have a problem getting them to join us.
Yeah,
They,
that's.
they were good at guessing the sizes for the, so we could do, our thing. They're there, and, Marcy's like, we need a size 6. We need this. We need, and her cousin's helping her. It's just amazing. And I showed Marcy that coat last night. Oh, she was absolutely tickled to death. How many do we have? How much clothes do we have? She's
Yes.
just amazing, and she's 15 years old.
Yeah.
And to have that gift of
To want to
giving in
give.
front
Yeah.
to her, it just
No, that's not normal. And to those of you who have raised teenagers, you'll understand that's just not normal. So that's great. That's
Yeah.
wonderful.
she's exceptional.
I'm sure she is.
Not because she's our granddaughter.
Oh,
but-
she is exceptional. I mean, the way that she was working with these children, and then when they ran out, and she goes, "Do you have any more?" And I said,
No.
"Oh, sorry."
And the dogs, it's so heartbreaking. When we went in December, we went to this one village, and they had 2 puppies that, the kids come running out. He beeps the horn, the kids come out.
sure.
And there's 2 puppies, they were under 6 months old. And they come strolling out, and there was just fur on bones.
Oh yeah. A little malnourished. Yeah.
And all we had for food was like cookies and
And I said to Linda, "That's not good for the dog." And she looks at me like, "Really?" And I went,
so,
You think?
so when we come back, and we did the Christmas thing with BCP, and Sheila was with us,
Yeah.
and we went back on the bus, and we were all in tears. So as soon as I come home, I called dog camp, and I said, "You got to do something. You have to do something about these dogs." And she said, "Well, can you go get them?" And I said, no. So anyway, she got a volunteer. They went and got a policeman, because you can't just take these
Right,
dogs away
sure.
from
Yeah.
they own these dogs.
Yeah.
So they got the policeman, and they did rescue the dogs the next day.
Mm-hmm.
And 3 months later, my dad called me, or she sent me a picture. She said, "This is the 2 puppies."
Oh, wow.
It was like,
Yeah.
so now we incorporate dog food.
"Yes."
And the last time we went up at Easter time, there was this one dog, he was hurt and very skinny. And Marcy's out there laying on the ground, hand feeding this dog puppy food
Wow.
or dog food and water. she's just,
I know. Truly.
Yeah,
blessing.
yeah, that's yeah, and dog camp. The first year that I did this show, their schedule was a little bit different, so I had them on the show 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
And we've had fosters with them. One of our dogs we ended up adopting because we just fell in love with her, and their schedule now, the way they distribute the distribution schedule, doesn't really give them the opportunity to get on the show. And I would really like to have them back. Maybe someone could fill in on a Friday once in a while to help them distribute their things. They've got a lot going on, and they also do a lot for the community, and that they're willing to take the time out of they're busy.
yeah.
Javier Magala, I keep messing her name up. I'm sorry, sweetie. Are just tireless.
Yeah.
And this is a community radio show, so I try to get people on the show that give back to the community. I'd really like to have them back on. But I'm glad that they stepped up, and did that.
We
you
have
know.
donated money to them.
Yeah.
As
Yeah.
well as like Bonus Venitas.
Yeah.
Your group.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
Anybody that needs help.
Yeah, and-
We do.
And Joe, who's been on the show a couple of times, as well as Mark, also talked about the fund that's set up for the survivors of emergency first responders.
Yeah.
And that to me is probably the thing that I don't want to say is most important, because everything is important.
Yeah.
But I was a firefighter in New York eons ago, back in the '70s, and I know what those families go through, when they lose somebody, and it's tough, and you kind of in New York, the whole department, everyone comes together, but in the smaller communities, it's not so much, especially volunteer. Firefighting organizations, and first responders as well, and to have that available here
Yeah.
in Boquete, right? You just wouldn't expect it. You wouldn't expect anything like that. And when Joe first told me about that, I was like, wow, that just brought me back 40 years.
Yeah.
To knowing the impact that has on the survivors. To know that, on top of having to deal with everything else, that's just one thing, that they don't have to, they don't have to deal with. So yeah, man, that's great. That's absolutely wonderful.
And you, as a fireman, you know what it's like to work on holidays when everybody's
Oh, gosh, yeah.
celebrating with
Yeah.
their families and that. I don't know. I think first 30 years we were married, I never seen him on New
Yeah,
Year's Eve.
yeah.
Because he
Oh,
always
yeah,
we
well,
never
yeah.
had kids. He always volunteered so the the guys that had kids could be at home.
Well, you're there all day, and relatives start showing up, and you're about to sit down to dinner, and then the radio goes off.
Yeah.
It's like, gotta go, bye.
yeah.
And
So what we started doing 3 years ago is on Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve, we have a barbecue. The police come up with their truck and they pick up our barbecue at our house, and our group, we go to the police station, and for 2 hours we have hot dog, Coney Island hot dogs.
Oh, yeah.
and
Subrettes.
and,
Sorry.
Chili and everything, and we have it during shift change.
Yeah.
So we can hit all of them.
Yeah.
And they absolutely love it.
Yeah.
They tried to help us get something going last Christmas, but
Yeah.
because of COVID, they wouldn't let us.
Yeah, I
they wouldn't let us do it.
but maybe this year, maybe
So-
things are.
And they appreciate it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
And
the
that's
first
why
the
it-
first responders here, and it's not like where maybe in North America where there's a lot of publicity, where the community has an opportunity to really understand what their job is, what they do, what they have to deal with, their needs. There's a lot of the equipment here is starting to get older, and whatnot, and So I think sometimes people lose sight of what exactly is their responsibilities are, what they have to deal with, the unique situations here, especially with all the canyons and the cliffs and the roads. Sometimes the road conditions, trees
Mudslides.
falling, mudslides. Yeah, there's a lot here that they have to deal with, and I think so. It's very easy to take for granted, and not in a bad way, not in a malicious way, but just because you're out of sight, out of mind, right? Of what they have to endure here, and just to have that. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
We know that this is coming. We know that we're gonna, for the holidays, again, as you know, not being able to be with your family is difficult
Yeah.
during the holidays.
Yeah.
So that's it's just another one of those things that make me glad to be a blue shirt, right? That's what you call. That's what we're called, right? Blue shirts. I hadn't heard that. I went to the last meeting. Hey, it's a blue shirt. Oh wow, okay, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, all right. Maybe next time I'll wear mine on the show.
You can just wear a blue scarf or something.
I know. I've done like 130 of these shows, and then I've worn this in every single one of them. So maybe I'll just bring it and hold it up. Do
Hold it
that.
up.
Hold it. Hey.
Mannequin.
So I see here that 11th annual Christmas gift event for the kids. I know there's no details yet on this one, but what is that all about? Can you give us any background
Well,
on that?
we've always before we've had it at Boulder 54. Well, that was the last few years, but
Yeah.
actually the very first year that we were here, we moved here in August, and in December we threw a Christmas party, and we just posted it, and stuff like that, and we had it at our house, and we said, what we want you to do is bring a wrapped gift, identify if it's for a boy or girl, and what age group. We had 90 people at our house. Joseph,
Didn't see that coming,
I
did
don't
you?
think we can do this again. And that started the whole thing. So we've kind of moved from place to place doing it, and the last few years we've had it at Boulder 54.
Sure.
We've had like 2 or 3 seatings, and
Yeah.
Chris would make a special
Yeah.
dinner and that.
Yeah.
We had Christmas carolers and music and Mr. and Mrs. Claus, and people brought wrapped gifts for
Yeah.
kids.
Do you have a clown? I'm looking at you.
Before that, they used to do one in the
This is what it
Gym.
looks like when you put somebody on the spot.
in the gym up going towards where we go.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And I just graduated my first year of clowning, and my girlfriend Irene Haynes set it up for me to go to this gig. And I mean, I'm new. I don't even know how to make a dog.
But everybody loves a balloon.
And I walked in there, and there is 300 people.
No
So they
pressure.
said,
No pressure.
You go over there, because we're feeding them over there, and then we'll switch. And my husband and I were sold after that.
Yeah.
I made this sword that didn't look like a sword, but the kids were happy.
What is that thing? Oh my
Kids
gosh.
have great imaginations.
Thankfully, sometimes. Yeah. Sure, it's a pogo stick. Yeah, you go with that. Oh my gosh.
So
yeah. Go ahead, I'm
anyway,
sorry.
we weren't able to do that last year, but we did collect Christmas gifts. We had I can't even remember where we dropped it off. I think at Tap Out.
Yeah.
We had them drop off, gifts. And we still ended up with almost 200 gifts.
Wow.
And we have these groups, the other charities, like you, we took gifts up there, and Louisa were, and, Bricks Ministry, they come, and I've got 2 bedrooms, and one's the boys' gifts, one's the
So-
girls' gifts. What do
yeah.
you want? Take what
Yeah. Well,
It's
that's
sorted by age group.
that's one of the other things that I think is wonderful about here is that, over the years, the various charities and things that my wife and I have been involved with, there have been times where it seemed like the charities were all competing.
Yeah.
There were, for whatever reason, there wasn't really a sense of camaraderie
Yeah.
between the charities. You know,
There
they're all
is.
looking for, well, you know, I did this, and they're all looking to pat their own backs and all that. And you know, you get here and you see all these different charities working together, and you wouldn't think, you know, the Jewish charities and the Christian charities and the secular charities would all, you know, just get together and do things. But here, it's almost like
A community within the
a
community.
community within the community, and to have all these charities work together. And I know when I had Mark on the show and Joe a couple of times, he was like, well, we're trying to get this done and we're lacking this, and just call up another charity, and they're like, yeah, sure, we'll go ahead and put that in. And the next thing you know, you've got everybody working together. There's no competition, there's no animosity, there's no jealousy.
It's all for the good of the others.
And you don't really see that often. I mean, I'm sure you do. You know, I'm sure that happens, you know, more often than I'm aware of. But I'm here, and it's really good to see, you know, that level of cooperation. It's hard enough organizing one charity, and the fact that you know, 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or more sometimes just tend to work together in a way where it's, what do you need? Well, I have that. What do you need? I have this. And next thing you know, all these needs are being met, and nobody's mad at each other. No one's like
Well, that's
stealing
like the
someone's
knitters.
thunder.
Yeah.
I mean, what they've given us is just, I am so glad they're there. I am so
Yeah.
glad they're here, because, wow, those sweaters really do come in
Oh,
handy.
I know. I've had
And the blankets and the
And
baby
blankets,
hats.
Yeah.
And the, yes, that baby hat.
And you know, I wasn't even you know, aware of the situation, you know, that they address until I had Brandy on the show almost a year and a half ago for the first time, and you know, she has these little samples, and when she told me that, you know, some of these people come down, there's moms, they come down the mountain with their babies in newspaper,
Yes.
you know, they don't have any protection, and like you said, it gets cold up there. And you know, when she said this is what we do, and then she explained how it gets done, and the, you know, how ACCB helps along with that, and there's a lot that give and take. And I've had her on the show a couple of times, and I'm sure I will again, or anyone really from the Knitters and Quilters. That's really one of my favorite charities here.
Yeah. Well, the work they do is just so
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
You know, years ago when we first moved here, there was a group that was called Bid for Boquete. I don't know if you remember.
No, I've been here 3.5 years, so
Okay.
anything before that.
They bid for Boquete, and they would work all year long to collect clothing and, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
There was only that one group that would have an annual, and they had the gym in town,
Mhm.
and they would have it was a 2-day event, and they would have all these clothes and that, and they would raise money, and they raised a lot of money because that was what they did.
That was their thing, yeah.
And all these charities were given money, you know, so the charities could go out, they could do what they do best,
Yeah.
take care of the families, and let Bid for Boquete raise the money and work at that, because that's a full-time job.
Oh yeah.
So when that went away, that was one of the things that we said, well, why don't we do that? Because
Yeah.
I don't, you know, we can't be in all these places at one time.
Sure.
Let these people do what they do, you know, like Louise has all this food and stuff. So
Buenos Vecinos.
Yes.
Yes, that's another great organization,
Yeah.
and they help a lot
So
of people.
that's kind of now when we put our motto together, that's what we do. That's one of the things. It's not our job description. I'm brain dead. Whether you say for
Charter?
Our charter.
Charter, yeah,
That is one of the things that we do. We'll collect the money, or gifts or whatever, and give them to you so you can do your thing.
Yeah.
We'll work for you.
Supporting
Yeah.
each other.
Yeah.
And it's amazing place to
Yeah.
be.
And isn't really, when you think about it, that's probably the simplest definition of what a charity is.
Yeah.
You know, just to help. However that's done, you know, and again, I can't reiterate enough, how proud I am of this community, and the generosity here, and especially for the members of this community that have the greatest need, are the hardest to get to. I've driven up there, and even with all-wheel drive, there's a point where I have to stop and walk, and then you walk and walk, and then over the river and through the woods, right? And then there's this little community in the middle of nowhere, and to be able to get people willing to endure that, because that's
I mean,
not
that's
even
another
easy.
organization.
Yeah,
Hospice. I know
Health and Hospice, yeah.
how one of them went trucking through the bush to see a woman that was in need.
yeah,
And I'm like,
yeah.
wow.
Yeah. Well, and to you have to meet people where they are. You can't tell an indigenous community, okay, well, I'll come on into town, meet me at
No.
at here, and you have to meet people where they are, and that really, I think, is that's not just a life lesson. I mean, it's not just a charity thing; it's a life lesson. If you want to help someone, you meet them where they are,
have to reach
on
out.
on every level. So when things like the bus, or trekking through the
Forest.
that one community that's up in Australia, it just amazes me how these kids can get to school. I had enough trouble driving there, and I'm looking and the person I'm with was Shelley Etlin, and she's like, "See that river?" I'm like, "Yeah, they have to cross that. It doesn't matter if it's low or if it's high. Some of the bridges are just basically a cable,
Yeah.
where they're holding on and walking through, and I mean, it's a lot of fortitude for them to do that, but they do it.
They
Yep.
do it. They don't.
Yeah.
They don't even think about it.
Yeah,
They do it. That's what
yeah.
I have to do.
And I complain about walking up a flight of stairs. Oh my gosh.
We were just in Florida and come back, and my niece said to me, "Well, when are you going to move back home?" And I said, "I am home.
I am home. Yeah.
I am home.
Yeah.
I'm going back home."
Yeah. Well, now you visit, and that you get to the average, and it's funny. It's not funny. It's interesting that on average, an expat, a foreigner, will stay here between 2 and 5 years.
Yes.
That's about an average.
Yeah.
And the reason for leaving varies, for those of
Health.
us that are gray. It's usually a health issue, or whatever. Sometimes, a lot of the younger families that work online, they have a nomadic lifestyle. There's nothing wrong with that. But, Boquete, for all intents and purposes, has a lot of transient people in it. But those of us who are not, this is home.
Yeah.
And I hear people say, "Yeah, I'm going home to visit." Do you realize what you just said? I'm going home to visit.
Yeah.
No, you're going to visit, and then you're coming home. And it's kind of like one of those, I can't think of the word for it. Where something is an opposite.
Yeah.
I'm having a brain fart right
Yeah.
now, but like jumbo shrimp.
Yeah.
Well, that was right there, and
Yeah,
now
it's
it's gone.
gone. Or as we say in the tech world, Microsoft works. Anyway, we won't go there. We got a few minutes, so I want to do a little recap.
Okay.
Bingo and travel. Give us the times and
Okay, it's at La Posada on Tuesdays, rotating every Tuesday. This Tuesday is bingo. We start this week opens up at 5 o'clock. Game starts at 6 o'clock. But we are
gonna take a vote.
maybe going to change that, so we'll let y'all know.
Okay, and if you find out before, well, no, it's coming Tuesday, right? Well,
Yeah.
just let me know. I'll throw it out.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I'll let you know.
Duck race.
Duck race.
Duck race.
Duck race.
You guys have got to come out. This is so much fun. The colors, the excitement, those ducks. You're just gonna have a good time.
So it's Saturday, August 14th.
You bet.
Tap out.
You bet.
1
1
o'clock.
o'clock.
You got it.
Early betting at 12.
Poutine. I've been pronouncing it wrong my whole life. Okay, I was saying poutine.
Sponsored by Tapo,
yeah,
who's giving us a special luncheon.
$7.
Yep.
$7, yeah. There's going to be some live ducks there, right?
Yeah.
Right. Bert have anything to do with that? I've been up to his
Absolutely.
place.
We've been in close touch with Bert.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Then they're going to be cool ducks. Guessing game.
Yep.
A Brazilian. Duck hats, $12, right? And these are. This is so cool. I can see my grandkids in them. You know, no entrance fee. That's going to be a family community
Yep.
day. Tickets are available for the duck race in advance at the BCP, the Tuesday market. $10 a duck, right? We can make a song out of that. Let's talk to my musician friends. James, Kent, if you're listening, write a song, $10 a duck. I'll get back to you. You get to name your duck. You can pick your number for the duck, pink, blue, or yellow, correct?
As long as you buy it
As
in
long as you
advance.
buy it in advance. So you get
Otherwise, you get what you get.
20 ducks, first race, first prize. First prize, $50. Second prize, a mango chutney or apple pie. Your choice, third place, whatever the second place winner didn't pick.
That's right.
You get what's left.
You're the third.
Oh my gosh! And then there's other, and I'm going to have all this information too, and I'm
And
going
the
to.
other thing is, you can buy a duck for a child.
Oh, see, there's always
Oh,
right.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
there you
yeah.
go. You can buy
Yeah.
2 ducks for a child. There you go. Only, and this is a very, very important safety tip. Only ACCB volunteers are allowed on that bridge. You don't want 50 people on that bridge.
Right.
You know,
No,
that's
no.
and the funds are going to be going to the Comarca, delivering bags of notebooks, pencils, goodies, dog food, and favorite clothes for the children and the babies, and hopefully some shoes. So if you're out there and you have shoes that might fit a 1 to a 15-year-old, bring them along. Throw them in a bag, throw them in a box, throw them in your trunk. You know,
And stuffed toys.
stuffed toys.
They love
Yes.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. yeah.
Accepting clothing, any used clothing, kids 1 to 15 years old. And then we're going to have some details down the road there about the 11th annual Christmas gift event. And you're also going to give us information about the Knitters and Quilters is coming up. And thank you again to Rabbi Yaakov.
Oh.
We can't say enough.
And Hannah.
And Hannah. Okay.
Just love
We
her.
are out of time. Thank you, Linda and
Thank
Mona,
you.
and thank you, Bolivar,
Yes.
for
Yeah,
all
thank
you do.
Thank you.
You've been listening to Boquete Now Talk Radio on Radio Cherokee 103.3 FM, sponsored by Big Daddy's Grill and the ACCB. We'll see you next week. Same time, same channel. Y'all have a great day. Pasa buen día.
Okay.